the last thing I want to talk about is computer stuff. I built my own computer in 2020 when the pandemic hit. I realized that the computer that I had was really not cutting it anymore. So I decided, hey, why don't I build a new one? People seem to be telling me that it would be a way better value computer. I would be able to spend less money and get more computer if I built a computer myself. So I did. I spec'd out this nice computer right here that has a Ryzen 7 3800X, 32 gigabytes of 3600 megahertz RAM, an RTX 2070 Super, and 6 terabytes of storage. And it cost me in the neighborhood of $2,000. Some of the storage stuff would have put it over, but that was stuff I either added a little bit later or already had from my previous PC, right? So we'll say it's about a $2,000 PC build, right? And I remember actually looking on Passmark, this benchmarking site for computer stuff, CPUs, GPUs, random access memory, RAM, that sort of thing. And I was like, okay, what are the good parts? And Ryzen 7, it was 8 cores and 16 threads, and I was like, whoa, 16 processors, that's pretty damn good. I think I want some of that. So I went with that. I saw that the one of the computer parts that I had heard that was the ultimate high end thing was the GTX 1080 Ti, which was the top of the line graphics card from the GTX 10 era. All that, it was known as the gaming beast. And so I was like, okay, I wonder if I can get something like that, or something approaching that. And I saw that I actually got the RTX 2070 Super for way cheaper than I would have gotten a 1080 Ti, and it was actually more powerful. So I was like, hot dog, this is going to be a beast of a computer, And sure enough, I put it together, and it absolutely was and is a beast of a gaming computer. There is no I've yet to play a triple A, game title, however demanding of a game we want to talk about here, at the highest settings on 1080p, with it going lower than 60 frames per second. It's so good. But that was 2 years ago. In fact, it was a little bit more than 2 years ago, because this was mid 2020, and now it's almost to the end of 2022, and new stuff has come out since then. And of course, I'm sure everybody who's interested in computer stuff remembers the apocalypse of scalping and massively inflated prices that was 2020 to 2021, 22, even early 2022. Prices were through the roof. It was insane. You practically had to go to the used market if you were looking to get a PC build at a reasonable price. But lately, I heard some tech news, with the release of new Ryzen processors, new Intel processors, new GPUs from all three of the big players. I heard that prices are dropping. Now there's DDR5 memory. All the shit that you put in a computer, there are now faster versions of, from what I did a couple years ago. And so I was like, well, hot dog. What if I check back onto the part picker site, and I was like, okay, I want to make a gaming PC that's a bit better than the one I have now. How much money would I spend on doing this? How much of a budget could I how much could I not spend, let's say, to get a computer that's about as good as this one, or better even. And so I played around a little bit. This part is very fun for me, looking at computer components and shit. And I was able to get a computer that was significantly better than the one that I currently have for about $500 less than what I spent in 2020 for this computer. And I was like, whoa. That's some serious improvement. I'm willing to bet if I were to try to get this same computer, it wouldn't be anywhere near as expensive. If I tried to get the parts for this computer nowadays, it wouldn't be near as expensive because of the prices dropping and stuff. So if you're looking to like build a computer, you might want to go getting while the getting's good. And of course, this is really only to be applied at the immediate future, like within the next couple of months, right? If you're thinking like, I need a new computer, you may as well go and start looking now, because of, you know, for at least since I've been interested in building computers since about 3 years ago, like prices have never looked so good. So yeah, it's really fun for me that like basically building a new computer has never looked like such a good use of money before. Of course, this is based off of like money that I don't exactly have, you know. And I'm still thinking like this computer is so much more than I really need for most things, you know. I don't need a better computer, and probably won't for several years. But you know, maybe once 2025 comes around, you know, 24, 25, something like that, I might look into getting a new computer. Be like, okay, I think it's about time. I've had this thing for 4 years, 5 years. You know, that's when parts start to get a little bit more outdated. And when you know, even if you have the beefier stuff, it's like there's little software updates, firmware updates, and like changes in code execution or whatever, that like even if you have a really beefy PC, it's not going to be able to handle new applications as well, just because like the instructions aren't quite up to par, you know. And hopefully then I'll be able to get something comparable or better at a good price.